1 standing by. Hey everybody, Flash the Reploid here with another episode of my Let's Play of Resident Evil 4. In the last episode, we just finished completing the general area before well, I don't want to spoil it too much, but we just completed an area before a new area that we're moving into. But I wanted to take a break before I moved in there. I just wanted to make sure I had a lot of time to actually complete it all on camera. So, I guess we're just going to move forward now and actually get to it. Well, we already went through this area over here. As you can see, there's trip mines and stuff like that. Well, non-exploded ones. We'll just avoid those, I guess. We're never really going to come back to them, so they're not really too important. As you also saw, I picked up another hand grenade, which is really nice this early in the game. Especially considering, like, you know, they are hard to come by in a box, first off. And secondly, they are incredibly powerful. Well, there is a description, too. I might as well show you the description of everything, since I was pretty much describing it myself. Hand grenade, a handy explosive that will detonate several seconds after throwing it. Very useful this early when you don't have very powerful weapons. We also picked up a flash grenade here, as you can see. Obviously, it stuns them. It stuns them, makes them blind, renders them open for attack. Flash grenade, use it to blind defenders momentarily. Very useful. Picked up a little bit more ammo. I don't think I showed you the examination of the handgun. Oh, here's something I missed, actually. As you can see, there's 4 different types of categories that a gun falls under. Firepower, firing speed, reload speed, and capacity. Later on in the game, we will be running into a merchant, or a, let's say a store-style, I don't know, person, I guess. Because of this person, we are allowed to spend the pesetas, or the money that we've collected throughout the game, to upgrade our weaponry and make it more effective against enemies. Because eventually the enemies do get stronger and more resilient to our bullets and our combat. So that's going to be something that we're really going to focus on later. I don't think I ran into any treasures yet. Oh, I did too. I ran into a spinal. Might as well show you what that is. A spinal, although small in size, it appears to have some value. These things are pretty common, which is really nice, because they are worth about $2,000. So collecting enough of these, the money will add up eventually, so it's really nice. We ran through this area already. No, it's actually really funny. Sometimes you can run through the map backwards, and it's totally weird to see it, you know, seeing the level backwards. It's almost like something you've never run into before, you know. It's so different. This guidepost reads Pueblo. Pueblo. We're going to go to Pueblo. It's the next area up ahead. It's kind of hard, at least if you're new. Well, we're gonna get there anyway, so I might as well just tell you what it is. We are running into the village that those 2 police officers from before were talking about. So expect a lot of combat, let's say. Considering all the villagers now have been pretty hostile toward us, we should expect some resistance, if not a lot. So here we go. Let's move on ahead. Also, really quick, there's a note here. Along with key treasures and weaponry, we also have perfect view of the map, or at least all the places we've discovered, and places that we can go to. As you can see, the map's pretty big. You know, it extends pretty far. So, right here, here's Pueblo, where we're going, and they're the highlighted areas where we've come from. The dark red spots are places we have not been to yet, but we will either be, or will go to eventually, if it is optional or not. So it's really nice to be able to see the map whenever we want. We also got different markers we can check out on the map, so we can isolate what we're looking for on the map, which is really nice. Over here we got files. So we got all sorts of different village files. We've got communication logs between Leon Kennedy and Ingrid Hunnigan. So if you ever want to recheck some of the conversations they've had before, you can just really check that out and look through all the different logs. That's really nice. Right here we got Playing Manual 1. Since I've already run through the controls with you and stuff, you don't really need to read this, but I guess it's nice to see anyway. So you know, we got shooting, combat knife, which I've already can't stress enough how useful it is. We got the action button to perform jumps, kicks, things like that, which I've talked about already. Camera control with the C-stick, I've talked about that already. Here's info on Ashley, might as well, since I haven't knocked this part out yet. Ashley Graham, President of the daughter of the President of the United States of America, 20 years old. She's kidnapped by an unidentified group while on her way home from the university. Her kidnapper's motives are still unknown, although there's reliable information that the perpetrator is an insider. So that raises a lot of suspicion. Only a handful of people know about this kidnapping. It's been kept under wraps, mostly due to the fact that we can't determine who the traitor is. The guys in intelligence say that they have a reliable information that Ashley's been sighted somewhere in Europe. But until we find out who the insider is, I don't know what to believe. It could be a ploy. We have very few leads as to the whereabouts of Ashley, but members of Secret Service and anyone else related to Ashley are being questioned by an investigative team. Even active agents are being investigated for any information. It's just a matter of time before the kidnapper is exposed. So also here we got playing manual 2, reloading, hold R and tap B, obviously ran through that. Kicks, talk about that all the time, that's very important, can't stress enough how important it is to do kicks. I got changing the inventory screens here, which I just ran through with you guys a second ago. So that's pretty much all the main info that you really need to know before we really move on. One more thing, just really quickly going to do this. Oh man, it's already 6 minutes. Really quick, I'm going to run through this with you guys. We got retry, so if you're trying to go for a perfection run, like you're trying to go through the game without dying, or you really hated how you did that area and you want to redo it again, you got to retry from a continue point. So, for example, walking through the doors over here, these are considered checkpoints. Passing through cutscenes also considered checkpoints. Like, for example, let's say, I run forward, fight some guys, wasted my ammo, crap, I want to restart from a continue point. You just hit that, and back you go to the checkpoint. If it'll load, there we go. See, you continue with all the stuff you had before you went on. So it's really nice if you're trying to go for a really well done game. You got controller setups, you got inverted aim, obviously rumble feature. GameCube, I like the rumble feature. I don't usually use Type 2 for the quick knife. While holding the R button, tap the L button to equip the knife, tap it again to unequip. I can't really see anyone using Type 2, especially if you plan on using the knife often. It seems like a real waste of time. So like here, let me run through it with you guys. So right trigger to pull your gun out, left trigger to draw your knife, and then A to swing, obviously. It just doesn't really seem like it's worth it, so I really wouldn't suggest using Type 2. Oops. Oh, I didn't even know it equipped it. Yeah, there you go. So you can't just tap L trigger to draw the knife. You have to have your gun out, then draw your knife, which just really doesn't seem worth it, so I really wouldn't suggest it. Type 1 is much easier, where you can just simply tap L trigger, and there you go. Also, I've gotten a complaint that my brightness is a little too high. It's probably going to bother the resolution of items, so I'm just going to lower the brightness by 5. And lastly, we got our audio setup, monaural, Dolby Surround Pro Logic 2, and stereo. I'm just going to go with the basic default, which is Dolby, so we're going to keep that. And then there you go. That's pretty much all the basic stuff you really needed to know before we actually move on and get into some severe combat here. So with that actually being a full 8 minutes here of, really important stuff we need to do before we really get into the game, I guess that's going to be it for this episode. So everybody stay tuned for the next episode of Let's Play Resident Evil 4. Flash the Reploid out.